Do you like videos? Do you like men getting wet? Do you like seeing cars being polished? Do you like beards that get shaved off at the end of the video? If so, stick around because this video is for you. I'd like to know who you are. Yes, I'm back. You didn't know I'd gone anywhere, but I did. And now I'm back because I didn't go anywhere. In the lockup of dreams with Brett Anderson. Or, as he's now known, but you can see I've been polishing the bonnet, but that's about to stop because I've got something else I want to do. As much as I would like to be doing some work on this car today, I'm not going to do because Pride of Longbridge is coming up, isn't it? Pride of Longbridge. For Pride of Longbridge, of course, I am taking Nigel. And I simply can't take Nigel along to this event without first doing a whole load of simply unnecessary touch-up work to the body. One of the unfortunate things about today, and maybe tomorrow as well, is rain and wind. I don't mind either of these, unless I'm outside trying to do something. And I am, and I would be. So that's why Nigel's inside. Behold the lovely Nigel that many people will be seeing, but I'd like Nigel to be seen at its best. That's not going to happen. But what can happen is it can be seen at the best I can do with him, with my current abilities to do things. Last year, for all the shows, I've spent ages. I had him on the back of the truck, doing all sorts of the underbody stuff and making it nice and glossy all over. But what I didn't do at the time is sandpaper work to get rid of scratches. So that is what I'm going to do today. Generally quite a shiny car, but one part I'm not happy with, and never have been, is the boot spoiler. It's got all sorts of scratches. Yes, you can see them there, can't you? And even worse, just here. Yeah, and they're too deep to actually just buff out. I'm not happy with that. I'm not angry as such. I'm not going to kick off, but I do want to try and make that better because my eye's drawn towards those scratches. There's a bit of paint missing off there. Oh yes, it is missing. I can't do anything with that. Oh no, unless I really need some paint. I need some X-Power paint. It may not look awful, but yes it does. No, it does look awful. And there's another one just there as well. It does look awful. It's horrible. It's embarrassing, and I need to do something about it, and I will do right now. With the 2,500 grit sandpaper, I can cut through ever so slightly into the scratch. But you know, these are quite a bit deeper than I first anticipated, so they're not really going away too well. I don't particularly want to run the risk of scraping right the way through the lacquer, so I'm going to buff that up now and see whether the scratches are reduced at least. Perfection is simply unobtainable, especially with a car like this. I need to sandpaper the whole roof to get this right, and that's pointless. It's not pointless, it's too much. It'll take too long. We're best off concentrating on the overall thing. It's still raining outside, it's still cold, and I've still got cold digits, even though I've been doing nothing but buffing, so I'm not sure why. Sure, I should have warmed myself up by now. But that's the tailgate done as well now. Look at that, what a lovely glossy example this is. Only thing is it's starting to rub off the paint, that paint there. Now it's time to tackle the bonnet, which from this angle probably looks perfectly okay, but it's not. It's got some rough bits on it. Will do no harm just to give it a once over, will it? First, remove the owls. Actually, it doesn't look like an owl now. It looks a bit like a turtle or E.T. Now, when you look closely, you can see this bonnet does have a slight haziness to it, and that is exactly what I want to remove today. And now it has a lovely all-over dullness about it. So now the yellow bonnet shines from every angle like a British telecom van from the 1970s. Or is it 80s? Lovely, eh? What do you reckon? As well as obviously bad weather that concerns us about going to car shows at the weekend and stuff, there's bird poo. Bird poo spoils your paintwork, it looks unsightly. But with a shine like this, it's the magpies I've got to watch out for. Now, this wing here, I've never been entirely satisfied with. It came off a car that wasn't well looked after. Perhaps you may remember Terry, the vandalised 25. It was a complete wreck. Smashed windscreen, stolen cat, just everywhere filthy. But £20 hidden in one of the door cap things. But this wing, of course, came off of that car. And although on first look it looks okay, but it's always been a bit scuffy. Can we see there? Whenever dry, it does have quite a deep gloss, but that's because of the amount of polishing I've done this. But can you see these fine scratches along there? And then all the way along. I can't do anything with that one. Definitely not that. All that. I might be able to reduce the look of them slightly, but the rest of this here I should get looking nice. Proper nice. It's about time I did something with this beard as well, don't you think? And this is lovely roughed up. Look at that now. That looks much more like the kind of Rover 25 wing that it used to be. The good old days, eh? Now I know I'm being really fussy here, but I'm not happy with it. I've got rid of some of the deeper scratches, but the fine ones are still there. Let me see if I can show you. Oh, I can't get rid of that one anyway. That one's too deep. Can't get rid of that. Too deep. Can't get rid of that. And it's quite glossy, but it's not good enough. Can we see that? Can we see those fine scratches on there? Am I going too far? Am I worrying about this too much? Am I worrying about it at all? No, I'm not worrying. Is it important? No. Should I carry on? Yeah, I might as well, hadn't I? And then within a couple of seconds, it's all roughed up again. That's the easy bit. Oh gosh, there's a part of me that's just... no, there's a part of me that's regretting doing this green wing now. Because whilst the yellow bonnet came up rather nicely, this, I've gone over this about 3 times now, and it doesn't look any better yet. In fact, it looks worse. It has to be quite a bit better. It must be. But yet somehow I'm not seeing it. I'm still seeing this kind of swirly effect on there somewhere. Can you see it? Or is it my imagination? It's not my imagination. It's definitely there. Just not a lot. Yeah, that bit there needs a bit more doing. I've got to the point where I think I might as well just be lying down doing it. At least I can be a bit more comfortable then. Yeah. That is definitely it. No more on this wing. So when I buff this off, if it doesn't look right, it's staying as it is. Oh, look at that. That's lovely. That's fantastic. That's brilliant. It's brilliant, that is. That's come up at last how I wanted it to do, which is lovely and glossy and exceedingly shiny. The view that you see often makes the panel look nicer than it really is, but not this time. This time it looks better than it looks to you. Yes. I've got to do that part yet. That is amazing. This car was always an ongoing project, and when you think you're finished and you haven't, it's kind of great because you want more to do. If you like having a car, if you like a car, you want things to do on it. And when it comes to things that you can manage yourself, it just makes it better. Well, the time now is 5:30 and I've still got my beard, which is a disappointment, and I'm going to have to put this back outside, but I need to wax it first to protect the paint, because it's so shiny but it's not waxed. That's the amazing thing. I need to do that now. Remember this, it's the orange one. The orange ones are the wax off. I'm putting this on video so I remember, so I don't get mixed up. By the way, I have now got a very clear idea on what I'm going to do with Eric. Yes. This familiar view, of course, means that I am now on my way home in Eric the Viking. He's a 25 and he's a Viking. He's a Viking, isn't he? He's a tough nut. Super steady on. That's a feature my camera has. Super steady on. That's kind of like telling someone to calm down, like, but really meaning it, isn't it? According to a friend of mine called Mike, men don't go rusty. And that's curious because we have blood, and blood has iron in it. So not only should we go rusty, and in fact we do when we bleed, don't we? We get rusty blood patches, but we should be magnetic as well. If you get a strong enough magnet, surely you can be picked up by a magnet just by the amount of iron in your blood. Oh no, I've forgotten something. Every time I finish work, I set off home and I remember something. Or I get home later on, try and charge my phone and I realise something. Yeah, I was supposed to be getting rid of my beard today. From Simply Red, nothing to worry about. It's just a social cow.